Hi, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Monaco and the 2025 Monaco Yacht Show. Today we are doing the largest yacht of the show. So the way we're going to do it, we're going to start with the smallest of the largest yachts and we're going to work our way up, and then obviously number one will be the largest yacht of the show. Also going to be an honourable mention for the yachts that didn't actually come into the marina this year but are out at anchor, because some of them are, you know, brand spanking new. So let's get on with it. As we mentioned in the previous video, owned by Tilman Fertitta, the American US ambassador to Italy at the moment. This vessel is 79 meters in length, which is just shy of 260 feet. The gross tonnage 1,850. It's quite weird that I'm putting this in the largest yachts of the show because the gross tonnage is not that big compared to last year, but there we go. Built in 2021, like I said, quite a new yacht. Obviously 2021, it's only 4 years old, it's up for sale. It was refit this year as well, so it came out of refit this year, so it's the very latest spec. It has a 12.5 meter beam, by the way, built by Fedship, and value of around 127 million euros or 150 million dollars. Some features of this vessel: at anchor stabilizers basically means the name Zero Speed is often used. That's actually a brand name for quantum. So when they're not quantum stabilizers, they call them at anchor stabilizers. It basically means you've got stabilization when the vessel isn't moving, which some stabilizers don't do. Most of them do now, but that was a quantum invention. Swimming pool and jacuzzi. Also has a helipad, obviously. We know about that, right? What's been well documented recently. It has a wine cellar on board as well, as you do, and a guest elevator, which is, for a vessel this size, is it's not the norm, I would say. Now, he has a 116 meter, Mr. Fertitta that is, has a 116 meter replacement under construction at Lursen, which should launch before the end of the year. So that's the reason why this one's up for sale. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, you just got this delivered in 2021. It's only 4 years later. He's buying another one already. That's odd, right? It's not that strange, actually. What often happens is a lot of people who buy yachts, they start off buying a used yacht. They buy a yacht that somebody else orders, and then when they decide they love it, then they decide to drop an order with one of the big companies or whoever it is that they're going to have the yacht built with. And then after they've done that, then they start to build it, and then it takes about 5 years from the moment you put down, for a yacht of this size, from the moment you put down the deposit, it takes about 5 years from design phase to completion. And they start to do that, and they start to cram in all this stuff, and they say, oh, what about a wine cellar? What about this? What about that? And then all of a sudden they think, oh man, I should have really built a bigger yacht. So what they do is, I've known numerous stories on the channel before, on the news, where even before they've taken delivery of the yacht that they're building, they realize it's too small and they put an order in for a bigger one. And then they keep this one. When it gets delivered, they keep it until it's time for the new one to arrive, and then they put it up for sale. That's more often than not the route that people take when they go into yacht ownership. Next on the list, Project 596. This is a brand new yacht built by Admiral in Italy, 72 meters or 236 foot. It was originally designed to be an 1,800 gross ton vessel, but swelled to 2,100 gross tons, as far as we can tell based on information found online. Like I said, delivered 2025. The name of the vessel is actually Project 596. It's on the back of the vessel, so that's kind of unusual. It's usually just the name of the yacht when it's in build. 12 meter beam of 40 feet, guests 40 and guests in 7 cabins, and like I said, builder Admiral, which is part of the Italian Sea Group, has a range of 6,000 nautical miles, very impressive, and the vessel's exterior design is the work of Giorgio Armani, and it has an ice class hull and a beauty and wellness amenities, including a spa and beach club inside. And for reasons that are unknown to us, the vessel was not taken by the person who originally ordered it. It was originally called After You, but the name changed to Project 596. Behind me here we've got motor yacht Valor. It was Project 715 whilst in build, brand spanking new yacht, just delivered by Fedship. Like I said, Fedship are absolutely doing amazing work right now, crushing it, as the kids would say. Brand new built in 2025, 2,117 gross tons, 79 meters in length, or 259 feet. Beam of 13.4 meters, which is 43 feet. It's got 14 guests in 7 cabins, which means it's built to higher standards. Anything over 12 guests, and you have to go up to like a whole set of regulations, because it's more like a hotel, it's more like a cruise ship than it is a yacht in terms of the fit and finish and the safety requirements on board, because it's got more than 12 guests. That's why you see a lot of yachts with just 12 guests. Like I said, Fedship built. It most likely belongs to Bobby Genovese, who's a Canadian billionaire. He owned another vessel, a smaller vessel, also with the same name. It's been renamed, so most likely he's just sold that vessel. Like I said, the old one was also called Valor and was also built by Fedship. The old vessel actually was in 3 seasons of Below Deck, if you're into that kind of thing. Seasons 4, 5, and 7 were filmed on board. The guy who owns this, I think, his old vessel, they filmed Below Deck on. Maybe he's used the royalties from it to put into this. Why at the yacht show? Most likely for Fedship to show potential clients what they can do, because it's just been delivered, so it's almost certainly not for sale. But you never know. Now, some of the features of this vessel: it's got 5 decks in total. It's got an infinity pool with contraflow design, which you basically look out of there's a glass bulkhead, and you can look right out into the sea. It has a diesel electric, but it has battery power as well, and it has some solar panels which helps to recharge the batteries. Also has an ice class hull, this vessel, so you definitely want to do some exploring. You don't just put that in there for no reason. It can go in, I think it's a A2 in ice class regulations, which is up to 30 centimeters of ice they can go through, which is about a foot thick. Has a nautical range of 5,000 nautical miles. To put into perspective, a transatlantic is about 3,200 nautical miles. So it's got a good range. Beach club at the stern with wellness center. I think it must be those. Shell doors on the side there, because the stern has got the pool on it. So, and this has got a really curious bow on it. It's got a dreadnought design, which I mentioned in a previous video, and it's painted grey, and it has a number painted on the bow, like warships have. So don't go to the Red Sea in this thing. Now, some interesting features about this vessel: diesel electric primarily, with a high tank battery bank, should I say. It has 5.34 kilowatt hours of battery power. Fedship says that the result of that, which is used for, they can use that for hotel loads, so they don't have to run a generator when they're at anchor or something, or as many generators. But they also say that they can. It has 5 times the capacity of the hybrid system that they put in Savannah, which was also built by Fedship in 2015. The solar panels up on the top deck there can help recharge the batteries. I don't know how long it would take to recharge those batteries with those solar panels, but every little counts. You've got the space, and the vessel could cruise and remain at anchor for up to 48 hours on batteries alone. So it's good for the environment, right? The yacht can also run on biofuel, which Fedship used during the sea trials. If the yacht is filled with biofuel, the carbon emissions can drop by 90%. Right, this is one of the newest yachts at the show. This is motor yacht Amalia. built by Admiral, which is part of the Italian Sea Group. Some stats for Emilia: 77.7 meters in length, 255 feet, 2,030 gross tons. Built in 2025, like I said, brand new, 12.8 meter beam, 42 feet that is. Don't know how many guests it can take. That information is not currently available, or at least to us. Now, some of the features of this vessel: it's got a touch and go helipad, which I think I've already described. It basically means that the helicopter can land on board to drop off people, and then it has to leave. It can't stay on board while you move around. It has a lithium polymer battery pack, which plays a role in reducing emissions and fuel use. It actually enables something called peak shaving to avoid unnecessary generator startup during load spikes, and ensures blackout protection when docked. I'm not sure how good a feature that is, blackout protection when docked. So basically it means when you're on shore power, if the shore power trips out for some reason, then the batteries take over. It supports several hours of silent zero emission cruising, which is a good feature. This is an 89 meter or 292 foot yacht built by Amels in 2017. Gross tonnage of 2,827 to be exact. Sleeps 16 guests in 8 cabins, again with the large yacht code Part B. And this is the flagship of Amels. Basically means it's the largest vessel they've built to date. Will be eclipsed soon, no pun intended, by Project Tanzanite, which is 120 meters, which will be completed fairly soon. This vessel was originally built for a Russian named Alexander Dapradidze. I probably butchered the name. He named the yacht after the Beatles song and sold the yacht to Graham Hart. So it's a name, obviously Here Comes the Sun is a very famous Beatles song. And Graham Hart bought this from him, and he sold it after he took delivery of his new vessel, Ulysses, which I mentioned in a previous video. It used to have a gold-coloured hull. It was changed, I think, when Graham Hart purchased it. I think it looks much better in blue. I do like a blue hull. Next best to black. I like a black hull, but I can understand why they don't want it, because it's very hard to keep clean. Just had a reduction in price of 20 million euros. We reduced the price 20 million euros. You know, you're looking at a very expensive thing when it can be reduced by 20 million. This yacht is currently for sale for 165 million euros. So yeah, it's quite impressive, isn't it? 1st of September it reduced the price, so just in time for the Monaco Yacht Show. So grab yourself a bargain if you're in the neighborhood. All right, next on the list, this is Motor Yacht Energy. It was built by Amels in 2022, so 3 years old, 77 meters, or just shy of 78 meters in actual fact, which is about 255 feet. The gross tonnage of this vessel is 2,885, so under the 3,000 gross tonnage threshold. Has a 14 meter beam. Clearly it has a beach club, because you're looking at it right now. Has a nautical range, 5,000 nautical miles, and it's owned by Ukrainian Valery Koroshovsky, I believe is pronounced. And yeah, range of 5,000 nautical miles. Like perspective, transatlantic is about 3,200 nautical miles, and it has a capacity for fuel. This is an interesting one, of 295,000 litres, and that's effectively how much it would use at 13 knots if it was crossing the Atlantic. Now, this vessel had a price drop just before the start of the show, 15th of September, 14 million euro price drop on this boat. So it gives you an idea that the big number to come is how much it's for sale for. Now, this price, I'm not sure if this is pre the price drop or not, but it's 185 million euros. That's how much it's for sale for, which is probably about $200 million. Next, we've got Motor Yacht Luna, previously known as Motor Yacht Dar. If I call it Dar during this bit, then you'll have to forgive me, but I know this is Dar. I saw it in Italy when it was first launched, and the name hasn't stuck, and also the fact that it's called Luna, which always gets in my head confused with Luna, the one that the Lloyd Worth Luna that Abramovich bought, currently owned by Farhad Akhmedov. I always think of that yacht when I think of Luna, so I keep calling this one Dar. So anyway, this was delivered in 2018. She is a 90 meter or 295 foot yacht. Gross tonnage of just under 3,000. That's not accidental. When you go over 3,000, everything changes. You have to have commercial engineers, commercial bridge officers. Well, that's sort of changed now, but they have to have unlimited licenses to operate. So it changes. So that's why you see a lot of them under 3,000. That's not the only reason, but there's a lot of other changes that take place as well. Like I said, it was built in 2018, but it's been refit last year, 2024. Has a, as you can see, has a big beam, 14 meter beam, which is almost 50 feet. And it was originally bought by a Russian, and he had some issues after the war in Ukraine started, trying to get into certain ports. I don't know whether that was his reason for selling, but he sold the vessel in 2023. We believe that the sale took place. It was very quietly done. And Robert Friedland, an American, the value of this yacht is about 200 million. I think it's for sale for 208 million euros right now, which is a lot of money, isn't it? All right, behind me here, this is the largest yacht of the show, the largest yacht docked in the marina. Attending the show, there are larger yachts out at anchor, but like I said, described in the previous video, that not all of the yachts at anchor are actually here for the show. So the largest yacht of the show is just concentrated on what's in the marina. And this is motor yacht Mar, formerly known as motor yacht Lena. This is one of the longest ships ever produced by Bonetti. One of 3 ships, or yachts should I say, produced over 100 meters, or over 345 feet. They've only ever produced 3 yachts of that size. This is one of them, IJE, the name, and the third one was Luminosity, which is obviously currently in Montenegro. So this one's looking at a lot better condition, and this is the one that we're going to focus on now. This is the largest yacht of the show. Now, like I said, formerly known as motor yacht Lena, or Lana, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Delivered in 2020, had a refit in 2021, peculiarly. Suggests, I don't know what that suggests. It could suggest issues with the vessel, or most likely the owner didn't like some stuff and he wanted to change it. That's probably the reason for the refit. Gross tonnage of this vessel, 3,890 gross tons. That's the reason why it's the largest yacht of the vessel, largest yacht of the show, because of the gross tonnage. That's what we measure, and it's also the longest yacht in the show as well, so there's no confusion there. Now, like I said, built by Bonetti in Italy, 16 guests in 8 cabins. Now 16 guests alone makes it a large yacht code Part B yacht, which means that it's built to a much higher standard than a yacht that's under 3,000 gross tons. Crew of 34, so there's a high guest to crew ratio, or crew to guest ratio, which means better, get looked after better. Originally purchased by a Russian, it was sold around 2023. It was a very quiet sale to Sheikh Surur of the United Arab Emirates. He's a member of the royal family. Value of this yacht, well, it's for sale right now, and it's for sale for 195 million euros. Now, before it was owned by the current owner, it was a charter vessel. It was used by Alisher Usmanov, who owns Dilbar, because his yacht is obviously in Germany and seized, or not seized, but detained there by the German authorities. So he chartered this for a long time. Also, more famous people, Jay-Z and Beyonce also chartered this vessel back in the day. They liked it. 1.8 million euros a week. That's how much it cost to charter, and they were chartering it. Some of the features that this vessel has: touch and go helipad. What does that mean? It means exactly what it sounds like. It means it can land and drop people off, but it cannot sail with that helicopter in place. Has a cinema, A full beam master with terraces on both sides, which is very nice. It has a beach club with hammam style spa, a spa on board, and it also has, because obviously when you build a yacht to go to the sunny places, you want a winter garden, and that's usually up on the top deck. So that is our look at the largest yacht of the show. Clearly, Yacht Mar is the largest yacht of the show. It's the longest yacht, and it's the biggest yacht by gross tonnage. Yacht Luna, formerly Dar, is the most expensive yacht at the show. It's currently on sale for 208 million euros, whereas Mar is 195 million euros, so it's a bargain in comparison. For obviously it's larger and longer, and it's cheaper, so that, you know, it's a win-win. Some notable exceptions to the list are out here right now. We had obviously Yacht Breakthrough, which we showed you in a previous video. That vessel clearly is a breakthrough. It's it's a very clear name. It's like calling your Superyacht. It's very, very obvious what it is in terms of a description. It's a vessel that can use, has a hydrogen fuel cell on board. It's the first superyacht ever to be delivered with a hydrogen fuel cell. It can also operate on methanol and other biofuels. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. Any particular vessel, any particular reason why that is your favorite? Is it the largest one, or is it one because of a design thing? But let me know in the comments anyway. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and all that jazz, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.